Hello everyone, welcome to a rather special arty video. This is an art piece I am really excited to share with you all. It is a massive, giant, I think it's a 2 piece of artwork all about a rock pool. And this is something that's been a kind of dream of mine to paint for a while. We started off doing art on this channel way back when, and I did a small landscape in a sketchbook about a kelp forest, but most of my artwork has been done of just a single species with a white background. And the thing that I couldn't grasp for the longest time, and I'm still really working towards, is incorporating a background with other species in, which was kind of gut-wrenching because I spent all this time doing this amazing marine biology, being surrounded by these amazing underwater landscapes, and I couldn't work out how to put pen on paper or paint on the page and bring that landscape to life. And that was even more frustrating this year, a year where we are limited by not being able to get out to those amazing landscapes. And I wanted to bring that into my home. I wanted to paint it, I wanted to experience it, because I really do believe in that connection between nature and the marine environment and art, and just appreciating it and, you know, falling in love with it, exploring it in the wild. You can kind of enhance that. It makes it even better when you can go home and focus on the little details of all of these incredible species, or see how many you can squidge into a page. And that is kind of what I was working towards these last couple of years, is being able to do a large painting of a rock pool that feels like I'm in a rock pool. And I'm so excited with this because I think I did it. I mean, art is subjective, but let me know in the comments if you feel immersed in the rock pooling world. And one of the reasons that really I think helped is that I did a challenge back in October, as there are many art challenges in October, and I called mine Rock Polaroid. And it was a little square every day that looked like a Polaroid picture of a rock pool, and just surrounding that tiny square I would always make sure, because it had to look like a photograph kind of thing, that there was a little bit of background. And so for like 31 days, I can't remember how many now, 31, I got to practice that tiny bit of background work, and doing it in bite-sized chunks I think really helped. And then I thought the next best stage was, you know, going big. Let's just go for it, let's do a massive landscape. And you'll notice that I started this video, it was already drawn and kind of a bit meekly painted. And that's because I actually started drawing this in maybe the first or second week of lockdown number 1, so many a moon ago. And I just kind of got frustrated that I didn't know how to paint it. With all the other frustration going on in the world then, I decided just to kind of walk away from it. And picking it up in January of this year, almost, you know, a good 9-12 months later, was really exciting, because I felt like I'd learnt a bit, and now we can jump into this marine world. And so I started painting again. I've been painting it off and on for the last couple of months. This has probably taken about 20 to 30 hours of painting and drawing this, which I kind of dipped in and out of. I didn't do it all in one big long session. And I thought that actually anyone else struggling with landscapes, doing a load of small drawing and then doing one big one is amazing. Because I used to do like medium-sized ones, and it was frustrating then too, because it was just a bit too big that I would make a mistake and want to give up, or you'd spend, you know, 5 hours on this like medium-sized drawing for it not to look quite right, because you've not got the background right, or you've not learned how to paint where's the shadows and all of that. And so doing a lot of small drawings kind of gets all those niggly bits out of the way, and then during a big painting forces you to stick with it. And I kept doing, I never really do too many, I like to like do a few coats of watercolour. I do lots of layers, but I never really leave it and walk away. And with this, I would walk away every week and come back and paint a few hours on like a Sunday afternoon, and then walk away again. and forcing myself to walk away and come back, I'd start to see bits that were wrong or where I could improve. So it forced me to sit down and to really nail that bit, which I wouldn't have done had it not been, you know, so large and such a challenge. And I really enjoyed it. You also do feel that by the time you get to the end of a big painting though, you've probably learned so much that I was getting to the end of this and thinking, oh, if I'd done this again, like maybe I would have drawn it a bit differently, maybe I would have done this. And I deliberately didn't pack too many species in. I've done a rock pooling drawing before where I did enough species in a rock pool for an advent calendar countdown, and that by no means was even as many species as you'd find in a rock pool in the wild, but I wasn't intent on chucking everything in there because for this I just wanted it to feel like a glance of a rock pool. And I guarantee you go to a rock pool, any of the rock pool beaches that I go to, especially in Scotland, and you will see all of this in a single rock pool, in a single glance, in a single second. And I find that amazing. I love that so much. I love that there's so much diversity, and I didn't want it to feel like I chucked too much in there because yes, I could paint everything you'll see in there in a minute, and maybe you would see 20 more species, and I'm not even over exaggerating. If you watch all my rock pooling vlogs, you'll see that you might see, you know, 20 more species in that minute, but I just wanted it to feel like you had dunked your head in a rock pool and you're immediately there and you're capturing this glimpse in time. And one of the other things I love so much about this is I feel like I'm better at painting this now because I've observed it. I googled some reference images, but for a lot of it, it was kind of almost going off memory as well, which I don't often do, but I think I was very much missing the rock pools, and I have so many memories now of all these species. Like I knew I wanted to have a hermit crab kind of filtering through and like picking all the stuff off the coralline seaweeds because I've seen so many hermit crabs doing that. A nice chill edible crab sitting under a rock because that's what they like to do. A shrimp proud and centre because they are camera hogs and will try and go in front of the camera at all times. And all of these wonderful seaweeds and these little smelts going across and swimming. And that was kind of a half trick because I'm not very good at angles yet, so without ruining it too much, a lot of these are kind of like flat on species, a bit of angles every now and again maybe, but I could get away with it with smelts because they swim in these just packs of, or shoals, not packs, sorry, shoals of like 50 of these just tiny gleaming slithers, and I love that so much. And these blue-rayed limpets, which I paint all the time, and I keep painting them because they are so vibrant and so, they have these iridescent blue stripes down them that not once have I captured anywhere close to the actual beauty of these creatures. And I could probably paint them for another 50 years and probably not get it. I've not got the mix of paint right. I need some sort of metallic paint. I don't know how to make it look that beautiful, but I'm trying. And so I had to include them, of course, because one day I will get there. But I had a really fantastic time, and it seems like this has paid off because as I'm filming this voiceover, I finished this painting at the weekend and the rules have changed, surprisingly changed early, and that means that actually that the following weekend, so this weekend, I can go rock pooling after months and months and months of not being able to get to the beach. So after months and months and months of this painting, finally I can see the real thing. And I think, I don't know, there's just feels like something nice about that. Something nice about that I finally finished it, and actually it got me through and amused me long enough and kept me connected to the sea long enough that I can get back to the big lovely blue rock pools of Scotland and see the hermit crabs and limpets and colourful seaweeds for myself. And I've had, yeah, I keep saying this, but I have really had a great time painting this. Okay, so this is gonna get a bit off topic. Well, not really off topic, because I'm talking about I want to share a story about me getting into drawing over everything, literally everything. It causes me great pain to not outline anything I draw in black. There is one species in this that I resisted doing it to. Watch and wait for the end and let me know if you can see which one it is. But I love using black pen to shade and draw, and I always use it after I've painted, and because it's just so crisp and lovely. But I haven't always used fine line pens, and I remember the exact moment I kind of got obsessed with them and haven't changed since then. And it was during one of my art classes in A levels or GCSEs. I'm trying to think, probably GCSEs actually. And sorry, I'm just laughing about that. I said I just remember the exact moment, and now I'm questioning whether when it was. No, I think it was GCSEs. And I loved painting with acrylics. I barely ever used watercolour. In fact, I hadn't used watercolour until after actually learning to use fine line pens. And I loved acrylics, and I'd use all these paints, and I could tell stories for hours and hours and hours about. We had a rather hilarious art teacher that hated art, and part of this was that we were all getting like more arty. The less arty she got, the more she wanted to just give us a pencil and tell us to just draw with a pencil, the more we would rock up with loads of paints and acrylics, and we would just paint these giant colourful paintings. And one day, particularly with me, she just like snapped and said no more, and she took all the paints away, and she gave me a single fine line pen and told me that for the rest of, I don't know, the week or the term or whenever it was, like, no more colour, you can only use this black pen. And everyone was like looking around like, oh no, she's just got this pen, what's gonna happen? And I then drew for the first time this pea pod of with black pen, and I don't know, I think you should just do art for the love of it. And so I've always practiced art, but when surrounded in a class of artists, there were some absolutely fantastic people in this class, and for the first time someone who, you know, you have these, one of the girls in my class who I thought was a fantastic artist, kind of, she was like, oh my goodness, that is really good. And I was like, is it? And I was looking at it, and I don't know, it just clicked. It was one of those times where the art felt easy, and I'd never had that before. I'd never had something just feel right. And from that moment on, I was obsessed with outlining everything in black, and I think that wound my art teacher up just as much, because I wouldn't leave an art piece alone without going over it in black. And she also absolutely hated anything being outlined in black. She'd like given me my weapon, and she couldn't say anything because she had, you know, introduced me to this love of fine line, which just made it all the more sweet. It was I really enjoyed it, and from then I found it really relaxing. Actually, you could find it tedious. I mean, if you counted how many lines and dots I have done just in this painting alone, I mean, it's loads, but there's something I find very relaxing about it, and I always really enjoy it. And it got me into watercolours because I needed, you know, it doesn't really work very well on top of acrylics, and I never really used watercolour before because I was much more into that, you know, big bold strokes. And now I very rarely use acrylics, and I love using watercolours and the layers and trying to capture the colours with it, and then being able to outline. And that's just been my style since then, which is, goodness, it must, yeah, coming on a decade then, maybe 10 years since I first discovered my love of it. And so I just wanted to share that, because just try loads of different things. Don't ever, you know, not think about something, because just try what you like, and there'll be something in art you love. There's so much you can do, from like collages to sculptures to drawing with just a pencil, which my art teacher would have loved, but that just wasn't my thing, to painting giant with acrylics or miniature paintings with pens, and I still love it today. I realised how much pen drawing I had done when I was editing this, and I thought the majority of it was done during the painting sessions, but looking at it, half this video is just me outlining things, but it's just nice. I enjoy it. It's the thing that I really I really like to do, and I think it really just brings the whole art piece together. So let me know, have you ever tried drawing with fine line over things? What's your favourite art style? Let's have a chat about some like arty things in the comments below. It's we talk a lot about the species on here, and I'm a scientific art and scientific communication channel, so we can also chat about the art bit. Let me know. I also absolutely love seeing your guys' artwork. My Instagram and my Twitter are both at Marine Mumbles, the same name as my YouTube channel, and I love getting to see your artwork. So if you ever do anything marine-y or artwork, please let me know and share, because it's one of my greatest joys of having this YouTube channel, is getting the chance to, you know, see what you are all up to, which is just be really, really fantastic. Now, on to the most satisfying part of any artwork, though can be the most stressful, because it winds me up so much when the washi tape rips the paper. If anyone's got any tips on how to stop that happening, let me know, or any good brands of washi tape, because it breaks my heart. But it's the clean lines. You cannot get any better than that. It's the best bit. Come on, it just is. And so this is my finished piece of artwork. I hope you like it. I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best pieces I've done. I can totally see where I need to improve and where it could have been better and where I could have drawn it better, but I'm just going to take it as a win for now, that I've managed to finally, after years and years of wanting to produce this this artwork of a rock pool where you just feel like you're inside it, and I think I've finally done it. I'm just going to be super happy about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Please like, share and subscribe, and hopefully, depending on when you're watching this, these will also be available to pre-order on my shop on Etsy right now, or order on my shop on Etsy, so you can head down below and check that out if you want to have your very own arty rock pool in your home. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.